Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. About 2 months ago, I introduced on my channel the 15-minute Rob reversal trade setup that I take in the NASDAQ almost every day. Since that time, that video has gotten over 36,000 views and over 1,400 comments. Let me show you how the strategy's been doing and how you can add this strategy to your winning setups right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on this channel is financial advice. Trading futures is risky business. Any capital that you put out there is at risk for loss. All right, so here it is. Thumbnail said 35 points per day, simple strategy for the NQ. Like I said, about 35,000 views and over 1,400 comments that one video has gathered on my channel. And since that time, I have continued to trade it. I have obviously the Discord channel has grown almost to a little. I think over a little bit over 2,000 members since that time, and a lot of people wanted the indicator that I said I would provide everyone for free, which is what we did. And people have been extremely grateful. The comments have been fantastic. But I wanted to do a recap video on one, explaining the strategy, two, showing you how it's performed, three, showing you how I have passed top step evaluations, gotten funded, and took payouts strictly from this one strategy. So let's get into the strategy really quickly. To be honest with you, it's a very, very simple strategy. In fact, some people might say it's too simple and they don't even understand, how does this thing even work? Well, I coined it. Actually, I didn't coin it. My brother-in-law coined it, the Rob reversal. I've been trading it for a long period of time. Traded it on different time frames. So I originally started on a 1-minute time frame. Then I went to a 5-minute time frame. And to be honest with you, the issue that I had with the lower time frames was that there would be a lot more setups than I was really looking for in the market. And another thing is that it was very, very short-term bias on the lower time frames. So I then started to kind of mess around with the different time frames. And the one thing that I found was on the 15-minute candles, specifically in the NQ, this trade setup was able to find momentum. We called it the Rob reversal because what you're really looking for is you're looking at it's a 2 candlestick pattern that we're looking for a slight reversal and a thrust momentum up or down, no bias. The only filter that we have on our chart is an ADMA. That's it. So I have very specific rules that I trade this on. If you're new to my channel, or if you've been following my channel from the beginning, you know that I have become a rules and condition-based trader where I will only take a setup during a specific time period. In this particular trade setup, I am looking at trades from 8:30 a.m. to 1:15 p.m. Central Time. That's it. Nothing pre-session, nothing after 1:15. Now you can say, Rob, why don't you trade it all day? Well, what I have found is that once you start getting to, let's say you get in a trade at about 1 o'clock, and that trade, we're looking for 35 points. That's another thing that this trade provides, is it provides a pretty big trade, in my opinion, on the NASDAQ. And sometimes those trades, they don't come to their finality very quickly, especially towards the end of the day. But what I have noticed is when you start getting much past 2 p.m. Central Time, so pretty much that last hour of trading in the session, you start to see a lot. You get bots. Well, not bots, but you start getting institutional buyers that come in that are looking for positioning for the next day, and it gets a little wacky. So I like to cut it off at 115. And the only other filter that I really have is that price action, meaning the candle that activates me into the trade, and I'm going to go over specific examples, must either close above the 8 EMA if I am trying to go long, or it must close below the 8 EMA if I am going short. Very, very simple conditions. And to explain the candlestick pattern, super easy. So we've got here a down bar. Okay, so this is an example of a long scenario. We have got a down 15-minute candlestick. What I am looking for is for the next candle for price action to go below the low of the down candle. Okay, so it's gotta pierce this low here by at least a tick. And then it needs to close, this bar is got to close within the body of this candle. So there is downward pressure. There is a continuation of this downward pressure, but now buyers have stepped in and are bringing momentum and pressure now to the upside. And how I would get into a trade, I would have an entry order to go long one tick above the candlestick. That's it. That's another condition that I have, is it's one tick above that candlestick. That's my entry. From there, I have a 35-point take profit and stop loss. Now you can say, Rob, that's a big trade. 1 E-mini, that's $700. Yeah, I know. Well, instead of $700, trade 1 micro if you have to, and bring that risk profile down. This is the trade setup. So I get people, oh, that's too big of a trade. Well, scale down in your size to where you're comfortable at. Same thing for the short. As long as it's between the trading times that I'm looking for. And on the short, we're looking for a 15-minute candle that closes up. So it's a green candle. It could be on your chart. And for mine, it's a white. And we are looking for the next candle to at least go one tick higher than the high of this candle right here, but then to close within the body or the wick of this next candle. So let's just say that this candle right here was to close down here. Invalidated trade. It's got to close within this candle. Same thing, I would then set up an entry to go short, one tick below this wick. And I'm just looking for the next candle to pierce through that entry and to follow that momentum downwards. Now, you could say, well, Rob, where did you get the strategy from? Well, that's a great question. I follow a few traders, and I mentioned this in my videos when I'm referring to the 15-minute Rob reversal. There are some traders that I follow on YouTube that I think have provided an amazing amount of value to the trading community. They, at least from what I know, they don't charge for anything. Very similar to my style, where putting out this information, and I'm not charging for indicators or courses or classes. And and I give them their props when I feel like they truly are just trying to help out the trading community. So Quant Trade Edge, he came up with this candlestick pattern on a 1-minute time frame. And I like I said, I played around with it for quite some time and had some success with it. But for my trading style, I was actually looking for less trades. So I moved up in the time frame. I also changed down to an 8 EMA as my filter. and I created my time conditions for this trade. So how do I get these signals? Well, that's an interesting story. So when I started to trade this 15 minute, well, the 1 minute, let's call it Rob reversal, or 5 minute Rob reversal, which is what I was trading originally, I was looking for these candlestick patterns just from the eye, okay? And I said to myself, you know what? It would be nice if there was an indicator that at least just gave me the signals. And that might help certain traders, because there are situations where you think it's one tick above, you think it's closed within the body, and it hasn't. So there is a scenario where this setup signals, they come into play and they work. So I paid for an indicator. I gave them my criteria, that what I was looking for inside of these candlestick patterns, and I was able to create this indicator that I have on NinjaTrader that I provided free to the entire trading community on YouTube. And from that, it's spurred on in my Discord by the work of some really amazing members, where they have coded this in TradingView. They have coded this in NinjaTrader as a strategy that will take the trades for you, which is perfect for me. It's the only strategy that I trade like this, because I personally cannot be in front of the charts from 8 in the morning to 1:15 p.m. I got to go to work. So there is again, in the Discord, there are these members that have just contributed a lot of time and a lot of work into these strategies. And I really appreciate that, because I feel like I have given a lot of my time to the channel. I have given a lot of my time to the Discord, to the questions, and I really am not looking for anything in return. In fact, it has helped my trading out. It's almost like a journal, a video journal of your trades every single day. So let's go over really quickly. Let's go to Friday. So today is January 21st, just for reference. Let's get this thing up here so we can see it. All right, so let's just start here on Friday. And we've got the market open here at 8:30 in the morning. We get a signal on my indicator to go short. And you guys can see the candlestick pattern here. So we've got an up candlestick pattern. We have got the next candle that pierced the high of this previous candle. Okay, so it's looking for a continued momentum up, but then we're looking for strong sellers to come down and to close within this candlestick. So on this scenario, you would then have a short entry right below this wick by 1 tick. But does this trade here fulfill our conditions? Does not, because it must close above or below the 8 EMA depending on where the signal is. So this is telling you to go short, but it's closing above the 8 EMA, no trade. Coincidentally, we get a scenario where the next candlestick is the exact same pattern that we are looking for. Okay, now we're trying to go, it's saying let's go long. This candlestick has now pierced the low of this candle, has now reversed, which is where that reversal name comes in, and has closed within the candle, the previous candle. That's it. Now we would take an entry here to go long, 1 tick above the wick. And what do we get here? I show these trades too on my channel every single day when we take them, every day. A lot of times I'm able to record them, just if they happen to be during my session, my 8 to 10 session that I do every day. And I am looking for 35 points. We get our 35 points here, no problem. 35 points on the NQ, 700 bucks. You can see this is my funded Top Step account. That's what I trade on. I will show you guys a little bit later my Top Step account with exactly the scenario, or I should say the data behind these trades and how I was able to take my eval account, pass it, and go get funded. So that's that. So that's that trade right there. Okay. And we had another setup here at 145. Does that meet our conditions? Absolutely not, because trades have to be between 8:30 and 1:15. So no trade. Let's go to the next day. Okay. So the next day, this is just for reference. This is January 17th. And we get a good setup here. Our first setup of the day, of the morning. We get a great setup to go long. Okay. Does this take a trade? It does not, because it does not pierce our entry condition, which would be right there. One tick above. That is a very important condition that I have. The entry go long or short have to have a one tick offset. It will save your butt more times than not. I'm telling you. So even though this was a valid setup, close above the ADMA, we did not get in a trade here because the next candle, when this thing opened, it went up a little bit, but then it came right back down. That's not the momentum that we're looking for. Okay. Now, what happens, I don't know, maybe about an hour later, we get a short signal. We've got a candlestick that closes up, and we have the next candlestick that pierces the high of the previous candle. So kind of continuing that momentum up. We're now looking for sellers to slam them down, close within this previous candlestick. We now have an entry to go short, one tick below the low, right here. That's your entry order. You get activated. You get your 35 points. No problem. And again, this is the strategy. This is, I guess, a bot or whatever you want to call it, that will help you, that will take these trades for you if this is something that would work for you. And if you want the indicator and the strategy and the bot, it's free. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and leave me a comment below that you want the indicator and the bot, and we'll get it to you. All right, so we get another setup here to go long right after this trade. Is it a valid trade? Hopefully, I'm going to give you guys a few seconds just to kind of look at the chart and let me know if you think that this would be a valid long trade right here. Hopefully you said no, because it is not. This closes below the ADMA, no trade. That's my filter. Does this thing work out? Absolutely it does, but that's not a trade setup that we're looking for. Does this next trade here work out? Well, this has got multiple issues why you would not take this trade. One, it's at 2 p.m. Central Time, past my trading window. It's looking to go short, but it's closing above the ADMA, no trade. Let's go to the next day. Okay. So this, I believe, should be the 16th now. Yep, January 16th. Beauty about this stuff, really about all my trades and all my setups, is you can't really cherry pick anything, because the setup is very clear conditions. So it's either a winner or a loser. And the same goes for my oil strategy that I have and my gold strategy that I have. It's very simple to track. So here we get another trade setup at 9 a.m. in the morning. Okay, we get the previous candlestick was closed lower. We then pierce the low of the previous candle. So it's still continuing that with that downward pressure. We get a reversal, so the buyers step in. This candlestick closes within the previous candlestick. We then get an entry one tick above this wick. We get entered, 35 points, no sweat. And a lot of people, there's a lot of variations to this strategy that people on my Discord have come up with, and they might include a trailing stop or an ATR strategy. I trade this very simply 1-to-1, 35 points. My back testing, that seems to be the best. I have traded this where my stop would be at the bottom of the source candle. The only issue with that sometimes is that since these are 15-minute candles, this could be even more than 35 points. It could be much less than 35 points. I like to take discretion out. I like to take out any complications, make it a very simple 1-to-1 trade. Again, you trail stop this, you might get 80 points here, no problem. Same day, we get another signal. Same day, 12:45, kind of close to the end of our trading session, but still within the rules. We get this upward candle. We get the next downward candle, closes below the ADMA. We get activated into this order one tick below the wick. 35 points, no problem. Let's move on to the next day. Here we had an entry that came in at 10:30. This exited at session close. Not sure actually why this chart. Oh, I know why the chart. So this trade actually ends up working. It's just my data here is not. You can see it goes from 12 to 17. This was this was the shortened trading day on Martin Luther King. So this one would exit just because it was exiting on session close. So let's go look at the previous day. That was MLK, which we had trade finished at noon Central Time. Let's see if we got any other. And again, these setups, they don't happen every day. They really don't. In my experience and been trading this for quite some time, you might get 2 setups per week. You might get 3 setups per week. We had a rare scenario where we got 2 setups in the same day that both worked. I mean, that's 70 points, $1,400 on one E-mini. You could do the math for the micro, a tenth of that. So just to kind of control your risk. So if we go back now here to January 10th, this is just day by day. We get at 9:15, we get a entry signal to go long, closes above the ADMA. It fits our candlestick pattern. It fits our time conditions. We get activated into this trade long, one tick offset, 35 points, no problem. So it's just continuously showing you guys the same type of trade setup and the simple filters that, for one reason or the other, seem to filter out a lot of the bad trades and allows us to get into a few good trades. And that's all I'm looking for. That is all I'm looking for. If I go to my Top Step, account, this was an evaluation, a $50,000 evaluation that I passed strictly with the 15-minute Rob reversal, strictly with the trade that I am showing you guys right there. And it was done it took me 8 days to complete. I had a winning day percentage of 88%. We hit the $3,000 goal. We finished off with 3,141. So we hit all of the objectives that we needed to do within Top Step. And from that, I was able then to get a funded account that I have only traded with the 15-minute Rob reversal. If that's what got you the past eval, continue trading it. And I actually continue trading it exactly the same way. One E-mini contract looking for 35 points. I show you guys that trade every single day. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, if this is one of the first videos that you watch, I highly suggest to hit the subscribe button and like the video. And you'll see every day I comment if it's a winner, if it's a loser. I show you guys many times I show you guys the actual trade. Let me pull it up here. I will show you, this is my funded account right here, and I will show you guys my P&L every single day. If it works, if it doesn't, the setups, my setups in oil, gold, they're very rule time conditioned trades. Okay. If for some reason you're thinking about maybe trading this strategy and you're looking to possibly try getting funded, I do have an affiliation with Top Step. That is the prop firm that I used for my evaluations to get funded, to get my payouts. And there is a link below in my description if you would like to try to get funded. I recommend them. That's the only funding company that I've used, especially for those of you that have followed my channel. You know my story. So that is there. And if you are wanting the indicator, wanting the automated strategy that will allow you to get into these trades, very simple. It's actually very, very, very simple. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave me a comment below asking for the indicator and the strategy, and it's yours. I hope that this video helps you. Hopefully it's for some of those that have already seen the previous video, put some stuff into context here and show you guys how I trade this every single day. I'll see you guys here soon. Happy trading, everyone.